Next to the UK, where Prime Minister Boris Johnson's found himself in the extraordinary position of having to insist in front of the world's media at an international summit that his country is not corrupt. It comes out of a growing controversy around so-called sleaze, surrounding now a series of lawmakers. Boris Johnson says those who have broken rules should face the music.
Rules must be investigated. But I genuinely believe that the UK is not remotely a corrupt country, nor do I believe that our institutions are corrupt.
Heightened attention around second jobs held by some MPs has grown out of an attempt by the government to change the system for policing MPs' behaviour and outside interests. The UK Parliament watchdog had determined that Conservative Owen Paterson had committed what it called an egregious case of paid advocacy by using his position to promote two firms that were paying him. He ended up resigning, and the government admits it made a mistake in conflating its attempts to change the rules with his case. But several leading names in the party are now under scrutiny. Former Attorney General Geoffrey Cox is the focus of much of the criticism for pulling in hundreds of thousands of pounds a year for legal work and for spending time abroad and voting in the House of Commons remotely. Neither of those issues necessarily breaks any rules, but he's also facing claims that he did break the rules by using his parliamentary office for non-parliamentary work. The Cox and Paterson cases have opened MPs up to renewed scrutiny about potential conflicts of interest. Boris Johnson has a majority of 77 seats in Parliament, but he is facing pressure from opposition parties on what they call a cost of living crisis due to inflation and a renewed bout of hostilities with the European Union over Northern Ireland that could damage trade ties. And for the latest, we can talk now to WION correspondent Chris Jones, who is in London. And Chris, firstly, let's talk about Geoffrey Cox. Where on earth is he right now, and why does it matter?
Well, you're right, Geoffrey Cox has been caught up in these allegations of the so-called sleaze scandal. Now, the kind of talks are that reporters have gone to his door and tried to find answers to the allegations he's facing, to be told that he's abroad. Now, that's raised even more questions, especially from the public and from Cox's constituents, who say that he can't do both jobs from abroad. Some politicians are even calling for second jobs for ministers to be scrapped. Now, that's not likely to happen, and Boris Johnson says that for hundreds of years MPs have had second jobs. But no matter that, the UK government, the Conservative Party, is facing a lot of pressure right now at a time where Boris Johnson really wants to be focusing on climate change, and Labour is calling for an independent investigation into the kind of ongoings within the Conservative Party and second jobs.
OK, Chris, well, let's give you a second job and talk about the European Union. On that row with the EU over the Northern Ireland Protocol, any sign of a resolution to that?
Well, to put it quite bluntly, no, there is no resolution, it seems, coming from that situation, which has been raging on for quite a while now, since Brexit was kind of seemingly signed and dealt with. Now, the Northern Ireland Protocol is put in place to make sure that goods can be transferred between Northern Ireland and Ireland smoothly, and putting in measures as well to make sure smooth trade between the UK and Northern Ireland is, well, smooth. That seemingly hasn't been the case, and there's been a lot of controversy around kind of what's been going on, and EU officials fully expect the UK now to trigger Article 16, which might make things a little less smoother too. But again, this comes at a time where Boris Johnson is facing a lot of pressure, not just because of this sleaze scandal, but because of climate change goals too. So a lot of pressure for Boris Johnson and his Conservative government right now.
OK, Chris, thank you. Chris Jones reporting from London.